Top 10 Best Science Fiction Movies. Some of these sci-fi films are stranger than fiction. Some are surprisingly relevant to the modern era. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Now grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of this video, because today's video is going to list down the top 10 best science fiction movies. So let's get started. Number 10. The Atom Project. If you're looking for a fun throwback to the Amblin adventure films of the 1980s, look no further than Shawn Levy's Netflix original sci-fi film, The Atom Project. The film centers on a young boy who discovers that his future self, Ryan Reynolds, is an astronaut who has crash-landed on Earth. If you're expecting the typical quippy performance from Reynolds, you'll be surprised to see that it's actually Scobell who gets most of the film's best zingers. Reynolds turns in a more hardened, mature performance, and the film itself does a great job balancing humor and heart. Look out for the moving performances by Mark Raso and Jennifer Garner as Adam's parents, but stick around for Catherine Keener's scenery-chewing villain. Number 9. Awake. Gina Rodriguez stars in Awake, a fascinating science fiction film about a former soldier who discovers that her daughter might be the cure for a global bout of insomnia. Director Mark Raso, who co-wrote the screenplay with Joseph Raso, carefully dictates the specificity of this post-apocalyptic world, navigating the aftermath of a mysterious catastrophe with fatal consequences. Global hysteria ensues after a mysterious catastrophe wipes out all electronics and takes away humanity's ability to sleep. Scientists race against the clock to find a cure for the unexplained insomnia before its fatal effects eliminate the human race. When Jill, a former soldier, discovers her young daughter may be the key to salvation, she must decide whether to protect her child at all costs or sacrifice everything to save the world. Co-starring Shamir Anderson and Jennifer Jason Leigh, Awake reveals Rodriguez's nimble skill in balancing strength and vulnerability as a mother tasked with protecting the potential key to salvation. Number 8. The Discovery. The Discovery is an intriguing science fiction romance film directed by Charlie McDowell, who wrote the provocative screenplay with Justin Latter. Beginning with Dr. Thomas Harber's scientific revelation that an afterlife exists, leading to the heartbreakingly massive increase in suicides. The Discovery leans into discourse about scientific processes, as well as a detour focusing on how this finding affects the doctor's son's attempt to help a young woman, Isla, with her own issues surrounding the concept of death. With a talented star-filled cast, The Discovery initiates truly curious and thought-provoking ideas, leaving audiences eager for more answers and discoveries. Number 7. Tau. Directed by Federico D'Alessandro, Tau is a sleek movie based on a fascinatingly terrifying concept. The director's previous cinematic experience in the art department of Hollywood's biggest features give him a unique vision that is beautifully implemented in Tau. Starring Micah Monroe as Julia, a woman who finds herself being held prisoner by a sadistic artificial intelligence, voiced sternly by Gary Oldman. Tau also sees Ed Serkin as Julia's captor, continuing his impressively believable villain streak. Written by experienced science fiction television writer Noga Landau, Tau plays with predictable sci-fi themes and elements of horror, but the wonderful casting sets it apart, providing an entertaining ride. Number 6. Sorry to Bother You. Combining surrealism with sci-fi and fantasy with dark comedy, Sorry to Bother You is a unique and bold film from the mind of the visionary Boots Riley. The film follows a young, struggling artist who gets a job as a telemarketer to make ends meet. He starts succeeding at the job after adopting a white voice on the phone. However, he soon learns the company has darker motives than he originally thought, and is torn between his morals and greed. In an alternate reality of present-day Oakland, California, telemarketer Cassius Green finds himself in a macabre universe after he discovers a magical key that leads to material glory. As Green's career begins to take off, his friends and co-workers organize a protest against corporate oppression. Cassius soon falls under the spell of Steve Lift, a cocaine-snorting CEO who offers him a salary beyond his wildest dreams. Bold and bitingly satirical, Sorry to Bother You offers a refreshing story unlike anything you've ever seen before. Number 5. Morbius. Dr. Morbius, who is critically ill with a rare blood ailment and is motivated to spare others from the same destiny, takes a risky gamble that may not be helpful to the world at all. Based on the Marvel Comics character, Morbius stars Jared Leto in the titular role, and what a role it is! The film focuses on a biochemist attempting to cure his rare blood disease. However, he instead infects himself with a form of vampirism and must feed on the artificial blood he created to satiate his thirst. As his urges for the real thing become more and more powerful, Morbius must also try and escape the FBI agents after him. Though critically panned and a box office flop, Morbius's cultural impact on September 2022 can't be denied. It's worth a watch to see what all the talk is about. Number 4. I Am Mother. Danish actress Clara Rugaard stars in the intriguing science fiction film I Am Mother, about a lone girl who is raised by an android she calls Mother. Voiced by the multifaceted Rose Byrne, Mother has convinced her ward that they are the sole survivors of a vicious plague. But when a stranger arrives, played by Oscar winner Hilary Swank, everything Mother has said is called into question. The I Am Mother screenplay by Michael Lloyd Green, based on the story written by director Grant Spudar, broaches provocative philosophical points to be investigated in strikingly sterile sceneries, allowing these talented actresses to discuss and kick ass at the same time. Number 3. Spiderhead. Spiderhead is a psychedelic, mind-bending science fiction film that questions morality, humanity, and freedom, as it's set in a terrifying near future where convicted felons are given the opportunity to shorten their sentences by becoming human guinea pigs in untested medical trials. This is set in the not-too-distant future. Convicted criminals are used as guinea pigs in the hope that they can get their sentences shortened by volunteering to take new synthetic drugs that pharmaceutical companies manufacture. This film focuses on pills that are given to such criminals to make them feel many emotions, but mostly love. One particular patient struggles with these feelings and starts to question if it's all in his head. And so, he starts on a path to get to the truth. Starring Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, and Jurnee Smollett, this all-star cast enhances the mystifying premise and captivating story from Deadpool and Zombieland writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, based on the short story by George Saunders. Hemsworth's performance is a pleasant deviation from his more recent recognizable roles, only emphasizing the strengths of this film. Number 2. What Happened to Monday? It's impressive anytime one actor can play identical twins, but what about 7 different siblings? In the Netflix sci-fi thriller What Happened to Monday, Naomi Rapace portrays 7 sisters, each named after one day of the week. Rapace makes each of the characters feel distinct. The film takes place in a dystopian society that is dealing with overpopulation. A one-child policy is strictly enforced by the government's Child Allocation Bureau. After their sister Monday mysteriously vanishes, the 6 remaining sisters hunt for their lost sibling. Dead Snow filmmaker Tommy Wirkola adds the perfect amount of camp to the high-concept premise. Number 1. The Cloverfield Paradox. The Cloverfield Paradox is the 3rd installment in the Cloverfield franchise, which follows the crew of an international space station that travels into a parallel dimension while trying to solve the Earth's energy crisis. As the crew of the Cloverfield station prepares to test the Shepard particle accelerator, conspiracy theorists back on Earth spin stories about how the accelerator will rip open portals in the fabric of time and unleash horrors from parallel universes. After 2 years of unsuccessful tests, the crew is finally able to maintain a stable beam. However, chaos ensues as it becomes apparent that the conspiracy theories were not unfounded. As the crew tries to repair the Cloverfield station after a power surge, they discover a woman named Mina Jensen inside the wall of the station, fused with wires and screaming in agony. This is a perfect example of how the film sits in the intersection of science fiction and horror, delivering on scientific technobabble and nightmare-inducing monsters and body horror. And this brings us to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.